ITC top hotel executives are saying adopt asset-right model, not asset-light. We have grown at a rapid pace over the past 3 years and our inventory is up by 20% since 2018-19 from over 10,000 keys to 12,000 keys today. ITC hotel.
The ITC strategy has been different. ITC believes in owning the asset.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that is as long as they are part of ITC, the mother company, which had humongous cash flow.
Yes.
And because of this asset right model, when the ITC's valuation was in trouble.
Yes.
So, and the return of capital was being pushed out.
Yes.
The moment you become a separate company, you will also you will be debt free.
Yes.
So, you'll have to borrow to buy asset because you don't have free cash flow. It's like TCS having owning Indian hotels. Then even they can also have an asset right model. The moment you become a standalone company, you will have to go on an asset-light model or your borrowing will kill you. Because real estate in India is very expensive. This is the problem.
Rural retail inflation is higher than urban in the past 18 of the 22 months.
So basically what I've been telling you, this inflation is not real. Because first, one India cannot have one inflation. There's a list of states which have a higher inflation than the national average. And rural basket is different from an urban basket. And even the urban basket is not very representative of services used. In a good college, fees have gone up by 10 to 15% year on year. Right? We know it from personal experience. So education and health are not properly put in the basket. And there are cassette recorders and CD players in that basket. So whether that basket is truly representative of what is there in the consumer price inflation is something which is doubtful. If you want to tell people that in Coimbatore, that's what the government is trying to say. Coimbatore prices have reduced from last year to this year, but the goods travel from Coimbatore to Mylapore and the food prices are up only by 5%. Whereas Bloomberg is saying, because India banned rice exports, rice has reached a multi-year high. So basically something is not right. And this article which says out of the last 22 months, 18 months rural inflation is higher, is saying something because rural income will also be lower. So rural India is definitely suffering from inflation, while the urban poor are also struggling and the urban middle class is struggling because their income has been stagnant. Your income is growing faster, slower than inflation. And in IT companies, if you want to stay in a job or you don't want to stay, you can leave. So you're not going to have more than 3-4% in increments. This is extremely difficult situation for the middle class and the poor.
And the rural.
Yeah, rural especially.
Yes. What do you think about this, Anand? Finance Minister asking PSB banks to beef up cyber security after the UCO bank fiasco.
See, it is very easy to give the cuts and comments. I honestly believe that government has no business to be in business.
And banking
or any business for that matter. And this is divergent from most views of all political parties, including mine. So this is my personal opinion. Because the original idea of a nationalized bank was the poor would be the poor would be represented and the poor would get loans. Now we have microfinance institutions falling over each other to give loans to the poor, and also that banks have become digital. So the point that you have a physical presence to do banking is not true, and you don't need that at all. So I don't see why you need to have so many bank branches. So at least in PSU banks, first thing she can do is reduce the number of bank branches.
Yes, but as a shareholder of PSU banks, it must be nerve-wracking to see some things like this happening where simple cyber security surface weekend. What about this on global level news? What do you think happened with this ChatGPT?
I don't know. Sam Altman had a problem with his
board.
And he was.
It sounds like they did something like what Steve Jobs.
Yeah, they did to Steve Jobs.
But this is a quick U-turn. Steve Jobs took a little time.
Steve Jobs took several years. And he went and built Pixar outside Apple.
Yes.
And which is his family's biggest holding, bigger than even Apple holding.
Correct.
Though his biggest legacy is Apple.
Yes.
But here they have done a quick U-turn under pressure from investors. And I'm going to bring him back, I think. Or they've already brought him back.
That's what it looks like the news is saying.
Yeah.
And what about this? Warren Brothers, Sony joined top brands to halt spending on X after
Yeah,
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk supposedly, I didn't see the tweets,
I also didn't see it.
but he did something anti-Jew.
Yeah, so they say.
Those, so they say, and the Jews are controlling most of the companies. So Disney has done it. Sony, Warner, and all the big brands have stopped advertising on Twitter. Twitter was already in serious trouble. They have made it even bigger. Yes.
What is your take on this? That there's always a section of population now. There's a book out also about it saying Bill Gates, the reckoning, the myth behind being a good billionaire, the dubious philanthropist.
See, not everybody. He who tries to please everybody pleases nobody. That's what my grandfather used to say. It's his money. He is not taking public money. He is not asking government money.
Yeah.
So he is taking his money,
personal money.
his personal money and his friend's money, Warren's money, and spending it the way he likes it. Well, it's his money. He can do what as long as he pays the taxes, he can do what he wants with it. It's his personal life.
It's the same true with George Soros, right?
Yes, exactly.
Historic milestone on domestic airlines flying 4.56 lakh passengers on Saturday.
And this is ridiculous because most of the flights went to Ahmedabad to see the World Cup game.
Crude import to rise on pickup of industrial activity. What do you think about that? Do you think
if growth increases, as they say, growth will increase. You need fuel. Diesel and petrol are going everywhere. And if at all the price of crude oil has crashed by 15%, back of the envelope shows that the central government and the oil marketing companies can reduce the price of petrol by about 15 rupees. That's what it looks like.
The Stu news is about Oberoi. The Himachal Pradesh High Court stay is taking over.
Tata's had the same problem with Taj Mansingh Hotel in Delhi. This is a case of a government having a hotel, land, and making a joint venture with a hotel. And not normally happens in government and temple properties in Tamil Nadu is for 30-40 years you have the same lease.
Correct.
So the lease rental is not real.
Yes.
And in this case there is a lease rental issue. In 2005 they revised the rental issue. And some citizen went to court saying that rates have to go up. So the government and the company are fighting over
how much it should go up.
How much it should go up.
They have also bought up 15 acres in Gurugram for 597 crore. Expansion plan. I was talking about.
But see, you have to understand. Oberoi suddenly felt threatened. PRSO, Bicky Oberoi. He felt threatened by ITC taking 15% stake. So he went and sold 15% stake to Mukesh Ambani, who in turn increased his stake to 19%. So it's basically Mukesh's company. He can just walk in any time and swallow it now that Bicky is not there anymore.
True.
आपने इस पॉडकास्ट को सुना, इसके लिए मैं आपका आभारी हूँ. आपका सपोर्ट चाहिए हमको. आप इस वीडियो को लाइक कीजिए, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए और बेल नोटिफिकेशन दबाएं. अगर बेल नोटिफिकेशन नहीं दबाएं, जब हम वीडियो डालते हैं आपको नोटिफिकेशन नहीं आएगा. तो हो सके तो इस वीडियो को अपने दोस्त और रिश्तेदार के पास भेजें और उनको देखने के लिए आग्रह करें. धन्यवाद. नमस्कार. जय हिंद. नमस्कार. फिर पैसा बोलता है में आपका स्वागत है. मैं 24 नवंबर शुक्रवार कुवैत में हूँगा. 3:30 बजे से लेके 6:30 बजे तक इवेंट होगा. इवेंट होने का एड्रेस है याकूत बैंक्वे हॉल, मिलेनियम होटल कन्वेंशन सेंटर, रिंग रोड, अबू तार अल गफारी स्ट्रीट, कुवैत. जो मुझे उधर मिलना चाहे वो नीचे दिए गए व्हाट्सएप नंबर या ईमेल से हमें संपर्क करें. मेरा टीम आपसे कांटेक्ट करेगी. नमस्कार. धन्यवाद. जय हिंद.